This week on the podcast, the ladies from Roanoke Cabin escape the comics, come to the novel, Zits, Sherlock, Rugrats, Star Wars, a Disney giveaway, and more.
Hey, and welcome to Daddy Mojo. It's the podcast where we'll talk about parenting, all-age comic books, toys, and more. Now, here's your host, Trey Burley.
Thanks so much for checking out the podcast. This week we're talking all-age comics for the week of October 18, 2017. Where does the time go? I do not know. Would you please leave us a rating on iTunes or Google Play? ? That sure would be super, and I would thank you very much. The music you hear in the background is a compilation of Halloween-themed music that you can find over at Free Music Archives. Literally type in any kind of holiday, any kind of genre, boom, it tops up in Free Music Archive, and it's all fun, independent stuff. I think you'll like it. Something else you may like. Uncle Scrooge, number 31. This week it resumes the classic numbering of issue number 435. Yes, hard to imagine. A scant 3 years ago, there was a very limited, the Disney comic world presence was limited to almost nothing. And then IDW Publishing brought back a slew of the classic Walt Disney properties, but they started the numbering at number 1. So if you were a fan of Uncle Scrooge number 434, you felt kind of left out of the boat because you stuck with Uncle Scrooge for 434 issues. They kill the series, and they come back with number 1, and it's almost identical. But this week has best of both worlds. So issue number 435 and issue number 31 for Uncle Scrooge. Are you with me? So if you're not a number purist, just go with number 31. It's a lot of fun. Who would like this comic book? I'm going to say ages 7 to 9. Now, in theory, you see Uncle Scrooge. You know what? My 4 and 5-year-old, they like Scrooge. This could be good for them. Probably not. Just because of the reading that's required in this has a little more reading. I mean, the content is going to be A-okay for any age. They could look at it and just laugh and have a hoot. However, the comic also costs $3.99, so you may not want to pay $3.99 for your 5-year-old just to wrinkle it up and put it in the back seat and forget about it. A lot of reading in this, but it's a very good comic, Uncle Scrooge number 31. And if that is your cup of tea, then you may also be down with Duck Avenger. Duck Avenger New Adventures. It's a trade paperback, and it collects issues 3 through 5 from this series, again from IDW Publishing. It's a new story, and it was probably printed over in Italy, I'm guessing first, just by the way some of the artists involved in this have their name going. Francesco Abertriani. My Italian pronunciation is horrible. Claudio Schironi does some of the inks on this. Again, I apologize for the butchering of the Italian names. But that's just to say that they were printed in Europe first, so it's in America, hey, first time seeing it option, so it's new to you. The giveaway we got going on is this. On October 21, 26, and 28, in October, at movie theaters, over on the main website, daddymojo.net, we're giving away a family 4-pack of tickets to go see Disney Junior at the movies Halloween party. Halloween. Say it like, what do I think of? Say it like Vampirina would say it. Halloween party. What it is, it's from Fathom Events. They put classic movies or new properties in movie theaters for 1 or 2 showings, either one day only or spread out over a couple of days. What they're doing with Disney Junior at the movies for the Halloween party is they're showing it on October 21st in the morning at 10 o'clock, October 26th in the afternoon at 4 o'clock, and October 28th in the afternoon at 12:55. This is going to be great for ages 7 and younger if they're down with Disney Junior. And the 4 tickets we're giving away, they're good for any Fathom Events theater in the country that is showing Disney Junior at the movies Halloween party. And you can go for any of those 3 showings. Check it out on the website if that's your cup of tea. Great fun. Our 6-year-old loves it. Gets his stamp of approval. This is the best all ages ongoing monthly title to come out this year. What is it? It's Star Wars Adventures. Star Wars Adventures, this is the trade paperback Volume 1. This collects the first 3 issues, again from IDW Publishing. Just a happy coincidence that they've got some good comics out there for the all-age comic audience. This collects issues 1 through 3 from Star Wars Adventures. Really fabulous series in this. Each standalone issue of Star Wars Adventures has 2 stories. One story that represents about 60% of the comic book is more of an action-based story in the Star Wars universe. The second one is more whimsical. Which one do you like more? I don't know, it just depends. I like both of them, and if you're a kid below 9 years old, you're going to love this. It is great. Pick up any issue. There are only 3 of them out there, so really, can't go wrong. This collects the first 3 issues, or if you want to be safe and just pick up issue number 3 of Star Wars Adventures, that, coincidentally, is also out this week. Now, what's been out for 20 years and still is rocking the house? Zits. Zits is a classic, utterly classic comic strip that started in 1997 and has not aged a bit. To be clear, Jeremy did age 1 year. He went from 15 to 16. Got his license. Great, fabulous cartoon strip. It is in 15 different languages, 45 countries, and is seen daily in more than 1,700 newspapers. What? Fabulously popular series. And this week has a new collection of the Zits comic strips. It's called What Was All That About? 20 years of strips and stories. It's for the fans, so if you like Zits and you're like me and you say this is one of the all-time classic strips that you see in newspapers, it's going to be your cup of tea because it takes a look at 20 years of the strip. So it's not a look at the most recent year and they snip like the highlights from the past year. This is 20 years of it, so it's going to be a great cornucopia of Zits laughter, and you can see how the story and the characters have aged over 20 years. Fabulous stuff. And by the way, if you're saying to yourself, I don't get the daily paper now, I don't blame you. I don't either. But that's okay if you do. You can still see Zits daily, every day, online. Just do a quick search for it. We've also linked to the Zits daily site from the post from which you saw this. Some of the people out there who don't like comic books, I understand, and I've mentioned this before, because you look at graphic novels and you look at comic books and you're not reading, kid. You're just looking at pictures. You're like that grumpy old man in the Twisted Sister video. But it's not, You're reading and you're looking at pictures. But if you're in that camp, you're not reading camp. This is for you. Lumberjanes, Unicorn Power. We speak often about Lumberjanes as it being really one of the best all-age comic books out there on a monthly basis. Pick up any issue of Lumberjanes. It's fabulous. It's an all-girl cast, but literally anyone can enjoy it. It's going to appeal more to girls because of that, but anybody can enjoy this monthly comic book series from Boom Studios. What's neat about Unicorn Power is it's a novel. It's words. You read it. So you crowd who say that graphic novels are not really reading because you're looking at pictures, this is for you. And it's for your kids who you may not be letting read Lumberjanes. Fabulous characters, great story, and this book is really good. Let me think of the vocabulary. I'm trying to think of the lexical skill level for reading. 4th graders will easily be able to read this. Easily. Some 3rd graders, but I'll stick to 4th grade. The easy thing here is the chapters are really short. The longest chapter in this one that I've encountered so far is 8 pages long. So it's going to be great for those kids who have short attention spans. Look, a squirrel. And that's any squirrel. Any kid. Lumberjanes, Unicorn Power. Because it's a novel, it may not be at your local comic book store. It has a couple pictures in there, but for the most part, it's a novel. So you're going to have to either order it online or go to a bookstore and pick it up. Another series that is having a format change just for this book is this one, Phoebe and Her Unicorn. If you have a girl in middle school, she is probably really manically in love with Phoebe and her unicorn. Heretofore, it's always been a series of strips, of cartoon strips. Yeah, you feel me? And if you're not familiar with this series of books, fabulous stuff, incredibly creative, girls love it. And this week has the 6th book in that series. It's called The Magic Storm, and it's the same sort of unicorn madcap nonsense that they've gotten into before, except its format is more in line with a graphic novel, where it's not going to be 3 panels and out or 1 big panel. It's going to be a series of panels that tell one story, like a graphic novel, as opposed to many different strips. You got me? It's from Dana Simpson. Who's going to like this again? Any girl who is in middle elementary school through middle school will go mental for Phoebe and her unicorn. The Magic Storm. If you're not down with this series, please meet Phoebe, meet the unicorn, Marigold, call them by their proper name, and I think you'll love it. A series that you folks from the 90s, you 90s kids, you loved this in the 90s. Nickelodeon loved it because it put Nickelodeon on the map. What am I talking about? Talking about Rugrats. Rugrats #1. This is a brand new comic book, monthly series, coming out from Boom Studios. And think of the Rugrats, how they look back in the classic show, and they're in the comic book. That's what it is. It's that simple. Brand new story, so it's not like you're looking at stories or snips from the old shows that have them without cell phones and all these wacky 90s non-technology. They're modern day, and you've got all the Rugrats. Tommy, Chucky, Phil, Lil. They're all there. Who is going to like this? I'll say early. They may get it. Early elementary school kids might get it. Middle elementary school kids will get it, and up. For example, our oldest is in 2nd grade. He would probably get this. He'd be able to read it, and he would laugh at it. It's $3.99, and it's from Boom Studios. Rugrats #1 is out this week. Now, this mini-series ended its run. It was only 4 issues. But it was great. Really fabulous stuff. Here's your chance to pick it up in graphic novel form. It's Kid Sherlock. It's a trade paperback, Volume 1. It collects issues 1 through 4 from Kid Sherlock. Now, think of Sherlock Holmes. If you know anything about the Sherlock Holmes mythos, be it from the BBC or the old original source material, and it's in here in this graphic novel. Baker Elementary. You've got all of the Sherlock classic characters, the fringe characters that made the series great, and the books great, and the character fabulous. It's Kid Sherlock, and this is the great part. It's great for ages 5 and up. We often talk about comic books that are great for ages 5 and up, and some people in the audience, they look kind of glaringly at the sun and say, no, that's impossible. That can't happen. But this is it. This is one of those unicorns. This is our 3rd reference to unicorns in this podcast. No unicorns next week. This is the comic book unicorn. Kid Sherlock. It's good for ages 5 and up. So go get it. It costs $10 if you buy it through some of the links online. You can buy it for $8, so please, save money. It's Kid Sherlock. The trade paperback collects issues 1 through 4 of the very fabulous miniseries from Action Lab Entertainment.
Thanks for listening to Daddy Mojo. Be sure to tune in next time. For more information on any of the things we talked about today, just check out the website, daddymojo.net, or hit us up at Daddy Mojo on social media.